last thing is pan. Pan is just sending the signal more to one side or to the other side.
Left or right?
Yeah, left or right. So, and if it's not neither left or right, it's center. So you want equal. So again, it's the same that I will explain on headphones. If you put headphones on and you do left and right, it should jump from one ear to the other one. You should hear that happening. Not all systems are always set up stereo. I think we have this one on stereo, but in live it's not essential, because if you listen to music, you are literally in the middle of your speakers, so you're hearing the guitar, as much as you're hearing the other guitar. So if we had two guitars, for instance, and I say they were on these channels, in a studio effect or situation, what you would do is you will pan the one guitar to the one ear and to the other side, assuming everybody's got stereo. Everybody plays stereo systems, so you do that, so that when you play it, it gives a wider spectrum, but also
special effects like here.
Yeah, exactly. It gives you. It's called a stereo imaging.
Yeah.
So you might even pan certain, your if you had a drum kit this way, that way, organ on that side, percussions on this side, and generally you leave in the center. You need you leave your vocals, so that they come equally from one to the other. So you're literally digitally creating space to put somebody, and it's in a way you can look at a stage. Everybody doesn't stand in a row when they play. They spread out. So you hear the guitars on this side, you hear the bass here, and so it's spread out a little bit. So that's the concept. So when you're listening to a CD, all of these things are pre-made, and then they send it out on the left and the right, and that's why you get what you have. And that's why a good idea is when you do playback, and you have a stereo system, is to pan it so that the one speaker gets the information that was on the left ear and the other one on the right ear, and then you'll get your stereo image back again in a live situation. Mm-hmm. Now these are stereo already, so they already panned.
So you have two inputs, like
That's it, yeah. So they already left and right.
Ask about this button.
Yeah, pad. A pad is the opposite of gains. So if you have if you say you have a piano player or piano, generally pianos have really huge output, from them naturally. So you find that the piano player puts his volume on just one level, level 1 or volume 2 if there's 2, and you already have this amount of playing or volume in the place. It just means if there's another song that it needs a bit of more volume, the slightest movement is going to be very exaggerated. So it doesn't call for a smooth, what do you call it, mixing. So again, you want to get everyone. We'll get to that. You want everything to be smooth. When you push it, it comes up gradually and lowers. And so what this is, it reduces the output. Your strength of your signal is measured in decibels. So increments of 3 decibels is a good way to to increase things or to decrease things. So if I'm EQing something, each line there you can consider a decibel, might be even 3 decibels depending on the desk. But I wouldn't, if I'm EQing, I would never do that. You just do a little bit at a time, because you don't want to necessarily hear the exaggerated difference. You just want it to the point, you just want increase in increments. So in the same way, when you do your gains, you're literally increasing the decibels of that signal. Pads, obviously the opposite. So you minus 20 decibels. I'm not sure what the value of this is. I would guess it's about 20 decibels. So if I press that, it reduces the signal.
It's like a step down, is it?
Yeah, it's a step down. So because you'll find maybe with a piano, your gains is down, and then when it plays,
bass guitar a while back. Remember? We had a problem like that with the bass guitar.
Yeah.
It was
So
like,
you
like this, and it was like exaggerated.
Exactly. Yeah. So you find that say this was the bass, the gains are down. When it's playing, you find it's like this, and it's really. Yeah. So then you go to the pads. Immediately it's going to drop. You're going to be able to bring that up, and most probably then bring your gains in, and then you get more control over it. Yeah, that's all.
Like half. Or
exactly. Yeah. Now your Your DI box has got the same function. You must have a -10 or -20. Some of the DI boxes have an option, so it's not like this one massive jump. It gives you two options. But generally with keyboards, acoustic guitars, the little guitar output, it's got a preamp in it. And it might just be a little bit vicious, so on the DI box, it's padded, and it reduces it, gives you a bit more control and a bit more realistic control here at the back. Make sense, yeah? Then pan on, off, you all know what that means?
Can you explain?
Yeah. Really want me to? All right, PFL, that is just, what that does, in this case, I can see, that's pad, so 1, 2. In this case, see what we're hearing, there's the monitor, 1, 2, 2. All right, here's number 2, should be working, and number 3, I'm not sure if it's on, maybe the volume is down on it. So, so on that example, let me just show you there, 1, 2. So there's no mains on, right? So if the mains were on, and we use that as a volume, 1, 2, that's the monitor, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, here is going up as well. So that is why you avoid that. So, all right, PFL, what that does, at the moment I can see there's a signal, but it's just saying a signal. There's something coming through. What PFL does, it gives you a range, so that you can see where things, how big is it compared to the next one. So when you take it out, it's nothing.
See, that PFL, we always switch it on to have signal going to a box. So is that tied in as well?
No, that's fine. You can do that as well. You might have a PFL on your stereo bus.
It's usually this.
AFL. There you are. Have a look there. If you 1, 2, 2, 1, 2.
So it should be going
2, 2, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. 1, 2, 2. Look, it was there when I was talking earlier. Remember we switched off your earphones.
Okay, so
Is your volume up again? Yeah, it's coming through. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on.
Just talk there. Oh, sorry, I'm talking. Just listen there. 1, 2. Is it still there? Yeah. Still there? Gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay. Oh, there you are.
Okay.
But that is, you would sometimes have to solo. Again, there might be a setting here, a combination of these buttons, where you can tell it, to automatically route it through or to manually route it through. So it might have been previously on a manual route through rather than automatic. Because in a different situation, you have the whole band playing, and the engineer wants to hear what the mix is or what somebody sounds like, or there's something not right. So I can tap